It is time for the first mission of the week. Today we are going to get rid of what doesn't belong. So you can do this in the living room, you can do this in the family room, you can do this in both rooms. We got 15 minutes on the clock. Here we go. All right. So how do we determine what doesn't belong? Well, first things first. If it's dishes, they belong in the kitchen. All right. So we have, like we've discussed before, we have purposes for what we have designated each one of our spaces for. So living room / family room. The purposes of these spaces, well, they are for gathering. They are for watching TV. They are for playing. They are for hanging out. Vacuuming. They are for maybe doing art projects. Whatever you have designated your spaces for. Now we need to go through and take a look at everything else that's in that room. Does it add to that purpose or does it take away from that purpose? Do you have laundry sitting there that right now should be in the bedrooms? That is taking away from the purpose of the living / family room. So let's get the laundry put away. If you've got laundry on the couch,
What's the living room?
Let's get paperwork put away. That is not part of the living room / family room unless you're actively working on it, and this is where you have designated to work on it. If it's in a holding pattern and you're just waiting to go put it in the filing cabinet, let's use this time to go put it in the filing cabinet. Kids' toys have a way of making it into the living and family rooms. If that is cool, great. If they need to be in a space together, put them in the space together to help you see the rest of the room. We're also looking at the decorative items. Take a really good look at these decorative items because later on in the week we are going to be dealing with these decorative items. So if they're not adding to the aesthetic of your surroundings, let's really take a hard look at why they're there, and maybe it would be better if they weren't there. Going through every single zone in your home and getting rid of that which does not belong, kind of talking about he who shall not be named, helps define the purpose, helps improve your clarity as to the direction you want your room to go. So even if you don't know where exactly you want these items to go, you know what room they should probably be in. So if it is a living or family room and you just don't know where, take a guess. Because anywhere is better than just laying out somewhere. Take a guess as to where you want it. Take a guess as to where you think it will get used. Take a guess as to where you think you will end up looking for it. This is the biggest clue to where you should put things. Like I've said before, I am not of the school of thought of like-minded things together, because guess what? I'm going to need a pen when I'm in the kitchen. I'm going to need a pen when I'm in the living room. I'm going to need a pen when I'm in the bedroom.
Kids will need pen for it.
And I'm not going to sit here if I'm in the bedroom and have to keep walking to the kitchen to get a pen. So I know in each room where I would look for these certain items. That is where they are. That is where I keep them, because it's just easier for me to do it that way. Now, if you want to keep all your pens in the office and then go to the office every single time you need a pen, by all means, go for it. If that is how it works for you, then that is what I want you to do. The biggest thing with what we're doing is we're doing what works for us. So you can disagree with me. I do not care. This is all about building your own systems in your home to make things work. Which is why I am not telling you what doesn't belong. I am giving you ideas, but it is up to you to decide what does and does not belong in the living/family room. I know some people that actually have a gaming room. So all of the games go in the gaming room. So there would be no reason for PlayStation controllers to be in the living room. However, in my home, that is where the gaming system is. So therefore, the PlayStation controllers are there. Just X art supplies are kept on a shelf in the living room because right now his room is still in the process of being worked on.
Yeah, because there's a leak that we found out because like one time when my floor was wet and they asked me if I spit in the no, but the minute I put my hand on my black shelf, it was wet.
Yep, and that's how we found out the ceiling was leaking. So
I think it's still leaking.
we'll see. You determine what adds to the purpose of your spaces, what takes away from the purpose of your spaces, what, defines the purpose of your spaces. That is for you to decide, not for me, not for anybody else, not your neighbor, not Cindy Lou Who, but you. So use this time wisely to decide. Just that, can you hand me my coffee cup from over there? Thank you. You determine what is going on in these spaces. You can take advice from people. I'm all about that. But don't get upset if it doesn't work for you because everybody's mind works differently. Everybody's thought process works differently. So we need to take a look at that. I have a very linear thought process. I also have a very compartmentalized thought process. Therefore, I have things that work for me in that linear aspect. Some people, their thought process is definitely not linear. Well, then the way that we organize and the way that we put things together is not going to be the same. So take that into account that people approach projects differently. They see projects differently, and different things can happen. It has been a busy day. All right, hold on. Oh, it's Papa. Hello? Including the water wings? Oh, very cool. You're awesome. That's awesome that you guys had them. Cool. Wonderful. You have yourself a wonderful day, sweetie. All right, we'll talk to you at break. Oh, here he is.
Hello.
All right. I just love it when you guys get an insight into my day.
Huh? It's not going to make a noise because look at my time is left.
Okay, honey.
Hello.
All right. So we are looking at how what doesn't belong needs to go places. Once you figure out where these things should go, group them into piles. Once they are grouped into piles, take this last about 6 minutes that we have to actually now go into each room and put these things away. We can use temporary homes. I will be talking about that on Friday for these. We have other ways of doing things, but don't spend the time going back and forth while you're working on these 15 minutes. So everything that goes into the bedroom, go take it into the bedroom now and put it away. Everything that goes into the kitchen, go take it into the kitchen now and then put it away. Everything that belongs in the bathroom or maybe the living room if you're in the family room, or the family room if you're in the living room, or the office or the garage or
Whatever.
the shed or the car or whatever. I see, honey. um, take these last couple minutes and go put them away, because we really need to keep working and focusing on start to finish, which I believe is, I want to say, tomorrow's podcast. So, where we will, tomorrow's 5 Minute Room Rescue podcast, where we'll talk about getting things start to finish and how that works. So, as you're going through and as you're putting these things away, possibly you know where the home is, possibly you don't know where the home is, but that's okay. You're working through this. You're getting better at this. Those are supposed to be in the door, kiddo, but I will take care of it. You are making sure that as we go through and you have figured out what doesn't belong, you are now putting it into the room that does belong. So you are one step ahead in the process. Because then when you go into that room to then get out what doesn't belong in there, you already know that you have stuff from other rooms that is belonging in the current room. So then when you go to declutter that room or organize that room or pick up that room, everything that needs to be in that room is in that room. And you don't sit here and make the shelves all nice and pretty, and then you go through another room in your home, and all of a sudden you've got more things you need to add to that shelf, and now where do they go? So getting things into the rooms that they belong will then help you later on down the road. And remember, and I'm going to be doing a podcast on this eventually, things are going to get worse before they get better, but that's just the way things go. It is a natural process. It is a natural progression in this entire state. You need to make your room look worse before you can make it look better. That's just the way things go. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's fact.
But it's true.
So we should be getting almost everything put away now. And if not put away, it's at least in the room where it's going, in the general area where it's going. And then you will know exactly where it is. Remember to put it by the items that you want to know where they are. You want to be able to get to them. You want to, when you're thinking about something, that is where you're going to go look. So I really want you to, as you're putting things away, think about the room that it needs to go in. Make it, make it a game. How fast can you get it put away?
Before the timer runs out.
We've got exactly 2 minutes on the clock here. So,
and my clock is like finished.
No, your clock is still going because I can still see the little dimple there. And then put the boxes or the bags or the containers or whatever else you have used, put them away as well. We want to finish this project. We want to make it, we don't want it constantly looking like we're in the process of cleaning, because there are better things to do with our day than to be cleaning constantly. Right, like playing with your kids. We don't want to have to be picking up after our kids either constantly. That is their job. They pull something out, they can put it away. Just like when we pull something out, we have to put it away. And by doing that simple process of when you're done with something, put it away. You will never have to do this mission again, because you will be doing it constantly. If you decide you're going to eat in the living room, when you're done, take all the dishes, the salt, the pepper, the napkins, the silverware, the plates, the bowls, the cups, and go put them in the kitchen. If you're folding clothes, put them away. If you're doing paperwork, put the project away when you're done. If you're working on something or you just brought something in and you set it down. No, go put it away. When we finish the task, when we're done with something and we put it away, you will never, ever, ever have to do the mission of get rid of what doesn't belong, because every single time you're doing it. All right, your 15 minutes are up. We will see you tomorrow.